Are you sleeping 8 full hours and still waking up exhausted? Well, maybe it's because you're not getting the right kind of sleep. Because the truth is, 8 hours of light, interrupted, stress loaded sleep is not the same as 8 hours of deep, restorative sleep. In this video, I'll show you why 8 hours in bed can still leave you feeling exhausted, what may be quietly pulling your body out of deeper sleep, and what you can start shifting so your sleep actually feels restorative again. Before we get into the hidden factors that can affect your sleep, I want you to picture something. Have you ever plugged your phone in overnight, fully expecting it to be at 100% in the morning, but then you wake up, grab it, and it's only at 37%? Technically, it was plugged in all night, but something interrupted the charge. Maybe the cord was loose, maybe the outlet wasn't working well, maybe the phone kept connecting and disconnecting just enough that it never got the steady power it needed. Well, this is very similar to what can happen in your body. Being in bed for 8 hours is like being plugged in, but deep restorative sleep is the actual charge. And if your nervous system is on high alert, if your room is too warm or too bright, if your breathing is disrupted, if your blood sugar is dipping, if your hormones are shifting, or if your body is missing key nutrients, then your sleep can keep getting interrupted in small ways all night long. You may not fully wake up each time. You may not remember anything happening, but your body may still be pulled out of those deeper, more restorative stages of sleep again and again. So the question isn't just, did I sleep for 8 hours? The better question is, was my body actually able to recharge during those 8 hours? And that's the frame I want you to hold as we move through this. Your body doesn't just need sleep hours, it needs sleep depth. It needs enough steadiness to move through the deeper stages of sleep where repair, restoration, memory processing, hormone rhythms, and nervous system regulation can actually happen. So if you're waking up tired after a full night of sleep, your body may be saying something is interrupting my ability to fully restore. So now let's look at what those hidden interruptions might be. The first hidden factor is nervous system dysregulation and chronic stress. And this is a big one because you can be physically exhausted but still not feel safe enough on a physiological level to fully rest. Maybe you know that feeling. You're tired all day, you want sleep, you're counting down the hours until you can climb into bed. But then night comes, and even if you fall asleep, it still feels like some part of you stayed switched on. You hear every little sound, you wake up when the temperature changes, you feel like your dreams are busy, your jaw is tight, your body is tense, or your mind is still processing everything from the day. And then morning comes and it feels like you were technically asleep, but not deeply held by sleep. This is often what happens when the nervous system has been carrying too much for too long. Your body starts to learn that it needs to stay alert. When this happens, your nervous system is trying to protect you. When you've been in a long season of stress, responsibility, emotional strain, overstimulation, illness, burnout, or even just constantly pushing through, your body can become more familiar with activation than restoration. So when nighttime comes, your logical mind may say, okay, we're safe, we can sleep now. But your body may still be saying, are you sure? Let me keep checking. This is where that hypervigilance can show up overnight. And it can keep your sleep lighter, more restless, and more easily interrupted. One piece I love to teach here is the idea of the vagal break. Your vagus nerve helps your body shift between states of activation and states of rest. And when that break is working well, your body has more flexibility. It can respond to stress and then come back down. But when your system has been under pressure for a long time, that break may not feel as strong. So instead of smoothly moving into rest, the body stays closer to the surface. The goal here is to send safety cues to your body often enough that your body starts to trust rest again. That might look like a predictable wind down routine, lower lights, less stimulating input, a slower pace. It might look like gentle breathing, humming, prayer, meditation, legs up the wall yoga pose, light stretching, or placing a hand on your heart and simply reminding your body we're safe right now. A big thing to remember is that this is not only a bedtime practice. If your nervous system is running on urgency all day, it may be hard to ask it to suddenly feel peaceful at 10 p.m. So part of deeper sleep is also creating small moments of safety during the day. Pausing before you pick up your phone, taking a few slower breaths between tasks, eating without rushing, letting your shoulders drop when you notice they've crept up to your ears. These small cues matter because your body is always listening, and the more often it hears we're safe enough to soften, the easier it becomes to access the kind of sleep that actually restores you. The next hidden factor I want to share is circadian rhythm confusion. This is basically when your body's internal clock is not getting clear, consistent signals about when it's time to be awake, when it's time to wind down, and when it's time to sleep deeply. And this can happen so easily in modern life. You wake up early during the week, sleep in on the weekend, eat breakfast some days, but skip it on others, get very little morning light, stare at bright screens at night, and then wonder why your body feels a little jet lagged, even though you never even got on a plane. Your circadian rhythm influences so much more than your bedtime. It helps regulate cortisol, melatonin, body temperature, digestion, hormones, and energy. So when that rhythm gets inconsistent, your body can have a harder time knowing when to feel alert and when to fully power down. This is one reason a consistent wake time can be so helpful. It can be an easily accessible, steady anchor for the body. Morning light is another powerful signal. When light hits your eyes earlier in the day, it helps tell your brain, this is daytime. This is when we're awake. And that daytime signal helps set up your nighttime rhythm later. Then in the evening, we want to do the opposite. Dim the lights, lower stimulation. Let your meals, movement, and bedtime rhythm become a gentle cue that the day is ending. Because your body loves rhythm. It loves knowing what to expect. So if your sleep feels shallow or your energy feels off, one of the most supportive places to start is not with a complicated protocol. It may be as simple as asking, are my daily rhythms giving my body a clear message? Same wake time when possible, morning light, regularly timed meals, gentler, slower evenings. These things can help your body remember what time it is. And when your body knows what time it is often much easier for it to sleep deeply. The next hidden factor I want to share is your sleep environment. And this one can feel almost too simple, but it really matters because your body is still sensing your environment while you sleep. Even if you've gotten used to your room, your nervous system may still be responding to little cues all night long. A small strip of light coming through the curtains, a room that's just a little too warm, traffic outside, a partner moving, a pet jumping up on the bed, dust, clutter, strong scents, or air that doesn't feel clean and easy to breathe. None of these things may fully wake you up, but they can still create tiny interruptions that keep your body from dropping into deeper rest. Light is one of the biggest ones because even small amounts of light can send a wake-up signal to the brain. Temperature matters too because your body naturally needs to cool down as part of the sleep process. So if your room is too warm, your body may have to work harder to stay asleep. And sound can be another common disruptor. You may not remember hearing the truck outside or the door closing down the hall, but your body may still register it. So one of the simplest ways to support deeper sleep is to make your room feel like a clear cue for rest. Dark, cool, quiet, clean. As much as you can. Reduce the amount your body has to monitor overnight. That might mean blackout curtains, an eye mask, white noise, earplugs, lighter pajamas, cleaner or more breathable bedding, or paying attention to dust, mold, and strong fragrances in the room. Ultimately, you do want your bedroom to send one clear message to your body. It is safe to let go and rest now. The next hidden factor is caffeine, alcohol, and evening timing. And I want to talk about this gently because this is not about being perfect or never having coffee or wine or a late dinner again. This is about understanding how your body responds to those things. A lot of people will say, well, caffeine doesn't affect me. I can drink caffeine in the afternoon and still fall asleep. And that may be true, but remember, falling asleep and even staying asleep is not always the same as sleeping deeply. Caffeine can still keep your nervous system more stimulated, even if you are able to close your eyes and drift off. So if you're waking up tired, it may be worth experimenting with an earlier caffeine cutoff for a couple of weeks and just noticing what happens. Alcohol can be similar. It may help you feel sleepy at first. It may make your body feel relaxed enough to fall asleep faster. But later in the night, it can fragment sleep, affect blood sugar, increase waking, or make your body feel warmer and more restless. So if you notice that you wake around 2 or 3 a.m., feel anxious in the night, sweat more, or feel extra groggy the next morning, alcohol may be one piece to gently pay attention to. And then there is evening timing in general. A very late, heavy meal can keep digestion active when your body is trying to rest. A stressful conversation right before bed can keep your nervous system alert. An intense workout late at night may be fine for some people, but for others, it can be a little too activating. And again, none of this is about fear. It is about curiosity. Your body is always giving you feedback. So instead of asking, what am I allowed to do? You might ask, what actually helps my body sleep deeply? Maybe that means moving caffeine earlier. Maybe it means noticing how alcohol affects your sleep. Maybe it means eating dinner a little earlier, making late movement gentler, or protecting the last hour of your day from anything that pulls your body back into stress. Because what helps you fall asleep may not always help you stay deeply asleep. The next hidden factor is blood sugar dips and nighttime stress signals. And this is something I especially want you to pay attention to if you tend to wake up around 2 or 3 a.m. Maybe you wake up with a racing mind or feeling anxious out of nowhere. Maybe you feel hot, sweaty, hungry, restless, or suddenly wide awake. And because it often feels emotional, it's easy to think, why am I anxious? What's wrong with me? But sometimes your body may simply be responding to a blood sugar dip. When your blood sugar drops too low overnight, your body has to bring it back up. It's actually one of our survival mechanisms. And one way it can do that is by releasing stress hormones like cortisol or adrenaline. Those hormones can help stabilize you, but they can also pull you out of deeper sleep and make your body feel alert. And this can happen for a lot of reasons. Skipping meals, under eating during the day, not getting enough protein, eating a very high sugar snack before bed, drinking alcohol in the evening, or living in a chronic stress state where your body is already burning through energy quickly. The support here is not usually complicated, but it does require consistency. Eating enough during the day, as well as eating regularly. Getting adequate protein with your meals, pairing carbohydrates with protein, fat, or fiber so your blood sugar stays steadier, and not going to bed overly hungry. And for some people, a small balanced evening snack can be helpful, something with a little protein, fat, or fiber, not just sugar on its own. Something like a banana with almond butter. It can be that simple. Of course, everybody is different. But if you are waking at the same time every night, especially with that sudden on feeling, your body may be giving you a clue. Your body may be waking you because it is trying to keep you safe and stable. The next hidden factor is breathing, congestion, and airway stress. And I'm not going to go too deep into this one, but I do want to name it because it can be a very real reason someone sleeps through the night and still wakes up exhausted. If you wake up with a dry mouth, morning headaches, jaw tension, congestion, snoring, or that feeling like you slept but didn't really recover, it may be worth looking at how well your body is breathing overnight. Because when breathing is disrupted, sleep can become fragmented. And this doesn't always look like the classic sleep apnea stereotype. Sometimes it's mouth breathing. Sometimes it's allergies or chronic congestion. Sometimes it's an airway that's making the body work a little harder than it should all night long. So this is one to simply pay attention to. Support your air quality where you can. Notice dust, mold, allergies, or chronic nasal congestion. And if you suspect sleep apnea or another airway issue, this is absolutely worth discussing with a qualified provider. Because if your body has to work hard to breathe, it may not be able to fully rest. Another hidden factor to be aware of is restless legs, limb movements, and iron status. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into this one, but it is worth naming. If your legs feel uncomfortable at night, if you get that restless urge to move them, or if your partner has ever told you that you kick or move a lot in your sleep, this may be something to look into. Because restless legs or periodic limb movements can interrupt sleep repeatedly throughout the night. And you may not fully wake up each time. You may just wake in the morning feeling like your sleep was restless, shallow, or strangely unrefreshing. One connection to be aware of here is iron status, especially ferritin and transferrin saturation. But this is not something I recommend guessing at or self-treating blindly. If this feels relevant for you, it may be worth tracking your symptoms and asking a qualified provider about appropriate iron labs. Because sometimes restless sleep is not just a sleep habit. Sometimes it is a body signal asking for a closer look. Now, the next hidden factor to consider is nutrient deficiencies and sleep chemistry. Because deep sleep is not only about what you do in the hour before bed, it is also about whether your body has the raw materials it needs to regulate, repair, and settle. Your body uses nutrients to make neurotransmitters, support your muscles, carry oxygen, regulate energy, and help your nervous system feel steady. So if those raw materials are low in supply, your sleep may feel lighter, more restless, or less restorative. Magnesium is one nutrient people often think about for sleep because it can support muscle relaxation and nervous system steadiness. Iron matters because it helps support oxygen transport. And low iron status can sometimes connect with restless legs or restless sleep. B vitamins are important for energy metabolism and nervous system function. And vitamin D can be part of the bigger picture too, especially when we're looking at mood, immune health, hormones, inflammation, and overall regulation. But I want to be really clear here. This does not mean you need to run out and buy a giant stack of supplements. As one of my mentors used to say, more is not better. Better is better. And a better place to start is with the foundations. Are you eating enough? Are you getting enough protein? Are you giving your body minerals, healthy fats, colorful plants, and steady meals? And if fatigue or poor sleep has been persistent, it may be worth looking at nutrient-specific labs, things like vitamin D, ferritin, and iron markers, B12, folate, and other nutrients that fit your symptoms and history. Because nutrients don't magically knock you out. They support the systems that allow sleep to happen and to happen deeply. The next hidden factor is hormones, thyroid, medications, and underlying health conditions. And I'm going to keep this one brief because hormone imbalances and perimenopause are big topics, and I have other videos dedicated specifically to those. But they are absolutely worth naming here because sometimes you are doing the sleep routine. You are going to bed on time. You're eating well, getting morning light, supporting your nervous system, and still waking up exhausted. And that may be a sign that your body is asking for a deeper look. Hormonal shifts can affect sleep in so many ways. They can influence night sweats, body temperature, anxiety, early morning waking, mood changes, and how deeply you sleep. Your thyroid can also play a role because it affects energy, metabolism, temperature, regulation, mood, and nervous system function. And medications can matter too. Some medications may affect sleep quality, dreams, wakefulness, or how rested you feel in the morning. So if your sleep changed after starting something new, or if you have other symptoms alongside the exhaustion, that is information worth bringing to a qualified provider. Track what you notice, your cycle, your temperature, night sweats, energy crashes, mood shifts, digestion, medication changes, when you wake up, and how you feel in the morning. Because if you are doing the obvious things and still feel exhausted, your body may be asking for a deeper look. And if the part that felt most familiar in these hidden factors was nervous system dysregulation and chronic stress, then I want you to watch this video right here next. Because in this next video, I'll show you what may be keeping your body stuck in that stress response and what you can start doing to help your system feel safer, steadier, and more regulated.